Okay, lunchtime arts and crafts has turned into after hours arts and crafts. This I've been playing with here for about, I don't know, about 20 minutes on my lunch break and about 40 minutes here after work. I got my adapter mount, whatever you want to call it, made. So tie the Rambler glass into the Honda regulator. Honda regulator is mostly straightened out. I still need to play with the angles of it a little bit. Like this is touching the glass. So if I had it tinted, it would scratch the ever-living crap out of it, which means that this back here needs to be spaced out up to an inch, probably more like half an inch. So, I get longer bolts and then I can put a bigger nut in there. Should be enough to space it. Here, I have drilled the spot welds, popped this off, and modified it, flattened it out, and it's too much. I think I need, it hits now. It hits the, I don't know what you want to call this, the cartridge. So you can see it there. It hits there. So I think what I'll do is weld a nut, or not a nut, but a bolt, a short bolt, to the regulator here, drill a hole, and then I can put a nut down in this little recess here. I think that'll be okay. I need to clean this hole up, and then I'm just going to plate it. I need to, basically, I'm going to cut this out right here and weld the Honda unit in so the motor is mounted. As you can see right here, oh, that's a problem. The motor, the cables are hitting the adapter I made, so even if I trim that a little bit, it's not going to buy me very much. So, I could come down on the regulator some, but I think I've already got that set up to roll up. So let's give that a try here real quick and see how well it works. It didn't sound great, but remember, I've got no rubber here. I've got no, whatever. Let's just see how it works. Okay, well, a second ago it worked a lot better. What is it hung up on? There we are. So, as you can see, I think we're topped out. So I think that's as low as this regulator can go. I don't think there's any more there. I don't think I can move it anymore. So I will have to get in here and figure that out. I can figure out this motor. One of the problems is you can't really do anything with the motor. The cables are very short. Like if the cables were long enough, you could put the motor over here. That'd be awesome. It'd be away from it. But as it is, it's right next to it. And a big part of that problem is because it's sat at an angle in the Honda. But even so, it was still there with the glass. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and unbolt the motor and see what I can do with it. Now, I got the motor just kind of laying in there, so I don't know if that's a good idea, but let's see what happens. That's what happened. Oh, yeah. See, the window is actually hitting the edge of the regulator here, or it's hitting this rod, which actually runs the door latch. So, again, these bolts are very long. So I need to trim those. Whoops. That's too much, because now the window's stuck below decks. So gotta fix that. Okay, got it marked. Stop. Just a tiny bit below it, but if I went any further, it'd drop back below it. Let's see if it goes up. here we are. Yeah, just a minute ago it worked great. Okay. So it looks like the glass is slipping out of the track over there. Why? I'm not sure. There. So, let's see now. Works great. Works great. Okay. Now we can't go up. I mean, maybe we could. I don't know. But we have to figure out something with that motor. And I got to figure out why the hell the window track keeps popping out of that window track. And now we are on the stop. It's out of that track again. Okay, so we'll figure that out. I'm gonna wrap this up and head home. Alrighty, it's Tuesday afternoon. Taking it kind of easy. Tuesday's usually my easy day. Taking a day of rest or whatever. I don't take days of rest. Anyhow, this is connector for the wiper motor. I need to run it through the firewall and reconnect it out here. So today we're going to take a break from the window frames. We're going to work on the wiper motors. So this needs to get done. I need to get the wiper motor put in, and then we'll start working on linkages. I got to put all this stuff back in first, though. Okay, so I got the wiring done. These little extension pieces, they're color-coded about as close as I could get. The plan is to put the split loom out here like Honda did, and then under the dash I'll just tape it. But yeah, so now we're going to get on to mounting the motor. Alrighty, so here's the wiper linkage, wiper transmission, however you want to call it. So you see the way it works here. They oppose each other. So the idea is run the motor here to a push rod that comes over here and pushes on this. And so this would be the park position. So needless to say that the arm on the motor needs to be in the utmost rear position. So pointing in a straight line from that arm, it needs to be all the way that way. And so that will bring it like that. So that way when you turn it on and that arm comes back the other way, it'll push and make the wiper arm go up. And then as it continues on its arc, it pulls back and then comes down. What we don't want it to do though is bottom out over here, and we don't want it to bottom out here. So there's a chance that the geometry, the distance here, could be off enough that either this goes too far and bottoms out, or it doesn't go enough and then the wiper barely moves, which I don't think is going to be a problem. So first thing I need to do is get the wiper motor bolted on here, and then like I said before, these two holes line up, but access to the back of them is pretty hard. So I'm going to get that bolted up. I need to get the angle that they're bolted on right, because we want this thing to push. We want it basically to be at the same angle that this is at. And then also we don't want this arm to hit anything here. So this probably needs to get cut off right here. First thing I need to do though is plug it in, make sure that the wiper is off, plug it in, turn the key on, and make this park. So it goes to the park position and then shut it off. And then this arm will get put on the furthermost position. Okay, we have a problem here, Houston. So with this arm all the way back, so that would be in the park position. And with the linkage all the way bottomed out and just a little bit away. That's where we're sitting, right? Okay. So we go to the opposite end with it fully extended, and then bring that up there, and as you can see, it's too far. So that means that this arm needs to be shortened. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. Start to run out of daylight. All right, didn't quite shorten it enough the first time, so I got back on it. I had to be careful though, because the rise here, if I didn't get it enough, it'll hit the nut sticking out of the motor, the linkage will anyway, as it goes around. This should be good. I'm just waiting for it to cool off before I test it. I took about a 1/4 inch out of it, 1/8 inch on either side, so we should be okay. Okay, got her all together. Got that ball welded there. This is all done, a little white lithium for lube. Keys on, and here we go. It's all working. So this is gonna make it real tight over here for the AC hose. I may have to get creative with it, but I think I can still get it in there. Come out around this. Shortening that thing up gave me a lot more room, so we'll see. I may have to get a pipe bent to go in there. Everything else though should clear. This is going to clear the gauge cluster and all the other tubes. You know, the defroster. It's going to be a little close, but we'll come out and come up. There it is. I got to retain my old school wipers. I've got mist, so that's just one swipe, or I've got intermittent. And I don't think there's any adjustment on the interval, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm real happy this turned out. Real happy this turned out to work. So low speed, high speed. I'm gonna go grab me some wiper arms just so I can get a look at it. Well, there we are. It's not perfect. It's not great. And it actually looks better on camera than it is in real life. See, there we go. So as you can see, it's just barely coming almost straight up. Where this side is actually going further, which doesn't make any sense because this is all factory Rambler stuff. If I had the vacuum wiper in there, it would be working the same because that's all the vacuum wiper stuff. I just took the actual motor off the back of it and just made this a pivot. So even if I would have left that longer, well, it might have actually made that thing go further, which actually doesn't make sense because when I checked it, it was bottoming out one way or the other. So depending on where I put this, it would either bottom out ahead of time or after time. So I can actually play with that later. So that's not an absolute. It's okay. Yeah, I just have to get another one. It's no big deal. And I might make it a tad bit longer to see where we're at. But for the most part, I can move this, reclock it farther out, but then when it park, so they'll be way the hell out there. As it is now, when they park, you know, they're going to be sitting up that high. And like I said, that's, you know, where they're at. So we'll try again with that. I might have taken too much off of that. But again, when I cut it the first time, it was hitting. I thought I'd just grind this corner off here so it wouldn't hit. This side actually has more swing than this side does, which again does not make any sense because these are all the same, and that's the right side, this is the left side. All that's correct. I compared it to the 61, and this is the bottom, that's the top. I measured this, it's the same, so the only difference is this sticks out farther, which kind of looks like it would have been better to put it up top, but that's not where it was. It still doesn't hit, or doesn't even really come that close to hitting, but I just got to make sure I either put the clamp behind it or in front of it. But regardless, I will have wipers. So even if the thing stops right here, I will still have wipers. I will still be able to see. I don't plan on driving this thing. Yeah, I'm going to drive it like an everyday car in the rain. So I don't plan on having rain, but if there's rain, it'll get driven. It'll be fine. I'll find another arm and play with that some more, but this worked. This all worked, and I'm happy. So I am going to clean up my mess. I think about the only thing I've got left to do on that is find the rest of the screws I had. And that's it. Yep, that's it. Tomorrow I gotta go pick up a truck, so I don't know how much I'll get done on this, if anything. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm pretty damn happy with this. Okay, so this is the results of my adventure today. Went and drug this out of a farmer's field. Sad thing was, it was a good run and driving truck. Even after they wrecked it, drove it into a ditch. 318 dealer AC. Somebody stole the air cleaner off of it, and with the hood up on it all these years, the engine's locked up. I'm gonna grab the condenser, the radiator, engine, transmission. This door was absolutely perfect before they ran the skid steer into it. Even so, that dent's pretty easy to fix. It's got a 435. I'm going to grab that, possibly for that truck. I'm going to grab the dealer AC out of it. Steering column and wheel. And that's probably, power brake booster. Gas pedal, that's about it. It's got a Dana 60 with 351 gears. No rust in the cab that I can see other than up top. Good windshield. This fender's full of Bondo. Hood's junk, obviously. This fender is iffy. You got that pretty good dent there. You got that dent there. A little bit of Bondo down there. And you got some rust there. Got some nice mirrors. This door's got a little bit of rust there in the corner. See, that's probably from mice. Anyway, I need to get my buddy his trailer back, so I'm going to cut this off. I love driving this old truck. It's rattly, it's loud, it's dusty. It gives really crappy gas mileage. Wish I could afford to drive it. I'd drive it more. But, yeah. This is great. out. Okay, it's Thursday. It's about 3:15 or so. So yesterday I went and got that Dodge. It's an 83 D250 Royal. I don't really know what that means because the truck didn't have anything fancy. Wood grain dashboard and a little wood grain strip in the door panels, but I mean, it didn't have anything nice about it. It was just a truck. So it's 318 2-barrel, which technically all 318s are 2 barrels, but had the MP 435 transmission, which I'm betting still had a granny straight cut non-synchro first gear, but I don't know for sure. Not that really matters. So the whole reason I wanted the truck was I thought, well, it'd be a good 318, a good transmission. Well, the hood had been up for years on the truck, like so much that the wind blowing on it had cracked the hood like halfway across. So I don't know how much snow, somebody stole the air cleaner, so I don't know how much snow, rain, whatever got down inside the engine, but it's locked up. So I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at it, pull some plugs at some point, and I'd like to think, hopefully if the head is any good, it'd be a pair of heads. They wouldn't be anything special. It'd be low compression smogger heads, but what the Dodge has on it now, or I don't remember the casting number, but 318-3 heads aren't real efficient. They're made for pulling and all that, which I may just leave them, but they got tiny little ports. I mean, even smaller than normal 318s. The truck does have dealer AC, which I want the bracket and the compressor so I can make a air compressor, which I've actually got one of those setups already, but I don't know for sure. And if I could figure out a way to mount 2 compressors, then I could actually have air conditioning and air. But we could figure that out later. I like to have that. I want the dash unit because it's standalone, and I can probably make it fit in other vehicles. I know the Cricket needs AC replacement bad. So the Boss, I gave him the drive shaft, I gave him the gauge cluster, the wiper switch, wiper motor if he wants it. I want to grab the column out of that because it's a column for a standard shift. It doesn't have, the gear lever on it. It does have a lock though, which is kind of interesting, but I don't like that it's got the key in it necessarily, but I mean, that's not a deal breaker. And it's very similar to the ones that the South American Crickets used, or, the Dodge Polara 1500, Dodge Polara 1800, and the Volkswagen? No, that would have been completely different. The Volkswagen 1500. So the Hillman Avenger in South America. Use that column, or one very similar. And I've got the one out of the Winnebago, so that one is going to go in the wagon. But, the columns suck. I mean, the bushings are always out in them, and I've got a way to get around that. But trying to get everything all put together and adjusted, and the U-joints are always loose, So anyway, putting a Chrysler ignition in it isn't a bad thing. But you got to figure out something for the switches. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's got a funky little 2-post steering wheel on it too, which is kind of interesting. But again, it's no big deal. I'd like to grab that. There really isn't anything else I want off of it or need off of it. Somebody might though. I mean, it's got a good cab on it other than that rust hole. But anyway, But I digress. So here we are back on the Rambler, and I really want to go pull the windshield out of the 61, but I know that as long as it stays in the car, mounted in the car, that it's safe. I mean, unless a super big hailstorm comes by or somehow a tree falls over that's big enough to land on it, or one of the kids around here decides to break it, it should be safe. I came home yesterday and Luke was messing with it somehow, so I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, there's a couple things I could do. Again, I'm freaking exhausted, but one thing I want to do is I've got an insert right here. So I've got this little insert, and I want to drill it out and weld it in here for a shoulder belt. Now, realistically, in a crash, there's not enough metal there to really hold the seatbelt or to expect it to hold the seatbelt, but realistically, in a crash, there's not much to the Rambler that's going to protect me anyway, considering these damn things didn't even have lap belts in them factory, but it's better than nothing. So I've got this guy, and somewhere I've got another one. I need to prep it because you can see that it was welded to the metal and I've gotten the metal off of it. I need to grind the paint off of it so that I can weld it. But first I got to drill the hole so it will go in and sit flat, and then I can weld around it. I'll probably get universal belts for this thing. Maybe. I don't know. That Dodge actually has decent belts in it, but they're red, which would go with the dashboard a little. I don't know. I don't really care that much if they're not matching color with the rest of the car. Who cares? So I'm going to go ahead and get on that. And I don't know. We'll see. Well, I got derailed by the neighbor again. They need help moving something, and I got the courier, so I can load it up, even if I can't really pick it up. So I'm going to go do that here real quick. It shouldn't take me too long, though. Yep. Okay, I'm calling it. Didn't really get much done today. I didn't get that bolt hole drilled or welded. What I did do is I went over with Luke and pulled the dash on the 61. So here it is. A couple minor little differences I noticed, but the big thing is here, these holes, like this one is just drilled, and that one's got a slot and then a hook where on the 62 they're just slotted. Cluster isn't great, but it's usable. Pulled this mostly to gain better access to the glass. Otherwise, who knows? Who cares? That's interesting. This little cardboard filler here for the speaker is in pretty good shape. Although I think it's warped. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, you can see the nastiness down in there. Oh, this guy. Let me pull that out. Yeah, this one actually looks to be in pretty good shape, although that corner is always broken on all of them. So yeah, we'll see once I get the dash in. I mean, I thought about just hanging this dashboard for the time being, but I'd have to cut all that out. And I don't want to molest this dashboard just yet. I want to save it for some other project someday because I really like the look of them. We're going to throw this back here. Yeah, so that's it. I tried. I pulled these knobs and I tried modifying them and using them on the Bluetooth, but they're too big. They hit each other to the point that you can't even use them. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and park this thing and call it a night. I'll see you guys next week.